Today's episode is brought to you by our sponsoring partner, the Campaign for Black Male Achievement. I want you to take a quick second and imagine what our nation would look like if we boldly invested in our neighborhoods and cities and showed young people, particularly Black men and boys, real opportunities to build upon their God-given assets and live their best lives possible. That's the work that the Campaign for Black Male Achievement and my dear friend Sean Dove, CEO of CBMA, has been working on over the past decade. They've joined and supported thousands of leaders on the ground to elevate and accelerate this very vision and mission. Visit tbpod.com/partners today to learn more about CBMA and consider joining their membership and or donating to help them scale the impact of this growing field of Black male achievement.
You're listening to the Trailblazers.fm podcast, where we'll explore the stories of today's successful Black professionals, entrepreneurs, and leaders. Join us to access the knowledge, resources, and tools of these accomplished professionals and come away with the know-how, confidence, and motivation you'll need to blaze your trail. And now, here's your host, Stephen A. Hart.
Hello, my name is Henry Keculah Jr. I was recently on episode 117. If you trust the process, you can accomplish everything. I want to say thank you to Stephen Hart for bringing me back on the show. And I also want to tell you, please check out my new podcast called The Green Print for College. If you have a student that will be going to college, start preparing for college early and find out ways that you can take advantage of that opportunity. Today, I'm going to be talking about how to pitch like a champion. And if you did not know, 1% of VC funding goes to people of color. So I'm going to be giving you tips on how you can be able to start your business, be successful, and obtain free money. There's a lot of free money, a lot of free opportunities out there that people fail to take advantage of. So the first thing you have to understand when you look at pitching like a champion, I remember applying for my first pitch competition in 2017, and I walked away with $10,000, which was a lot of money, which was very helpful. Capital One provided me with $10,000 to help me start my company called 4.0 GPA, which stands for growth, productivity, and accountability. So when you start off with pitching like a champion, you have to understand your why. Coming from a low household background, and both of my parents being immigrants to the United States, I saw that I struggled with preparing for college. And that was a problem I saw that consisted along when I became a high school teacher with Teacher America. And so the reason why I wanted to start 4.0 GPA was to help solve a problem. And that problem was providing kids with options. Because when I was in high school, I never had a career day. I struggled with even knowing what a major was. So as you tell your story, you have to start off with your why. And then think about the social impact that your company is making. I understand that over 1.2 million students drop out of school each year. That's a student every 26 seconds. But with my company, I understand that we are showing students how to discover different career possibilities to help them stay engaged in college. So along with telling my why, that allows me to show the audience why I'm so passionate about what I do. People buy into the story you're telling, and they buy into your company when you're relatable and you can have a reason to show them that. Other competitions I have been able to take part in also include the cricket grant contest. And because I was able to show the details of the value I was adding, that allowed me to stand out. So the second thing I want you to focus on is looking at the quantitative value you're adding. For example, I understand that students in my program obtain an average GPA of a 3.2 GPA within their first year of college. And they're also taking on less student loan debt when compared with their counterparts and compared with their peers. So that sets you on the tone, on the pathway to seeing the value that you're adding. Now you talked about quantitative. Now you have to focus on your value proposition. With understanding that schools that we work with and contracts we obtain, schools are rated on the amount, they're scored on the amount of students that drop out each year of high school. So if the school has a lower dropout rate, they receive more government funding. And this allows them to be an acceptable rating. And that also creates more jobs for the school. So that's something that you have to be able to focus on, is saying, okay, this is how we're able to add value. Now, when you look at opportunities and ways to take advantage of pitch competitions, you have to think about the advantages of applying. There are a lot of competitions out there that provide you with free funding without giving up any equity. So when you think about equity, if you're starting a business newly, you do not want to give up equity early on in your company. I started my company with only $500, but I have been able to accumulate over $3,600 of free cash with no equity. And this is how you do it. The first thing you need to do is set up Google alerts on Google for pitch competitions. This will alert you of any pitch competition that comes in your local area or that's open in the United States. Because I have done this, I have been able to receive alerts on pitch competitions. I have received funding. The first one was I received funding from recently in 2019 was the Startup Nest. The Startup Nest, they provide a shared working code space in Baltimore. And I received the email that they had a pitch competition. I was able to apply for that pitch competition and walk away with $1,000. Now, the second competition I won in 2019 was the Cricket Cares Grant competition. I walked away with the first place prize of $25,000. Now, when you look at those two competitions, those are on a national stage. And recently, I was also selected to pitch in the media pitch competition, and that's $1 million competition. But I was able to find out about these opportunities through Google Alerts by setting that up. Another great way to take advantage of pitch competitions is through following the right people on Twitter. I always keep my notifications on for people I follow on Twitter. So you need to find out who are the top entrepreneurs in your space that you follow on Twitter. If you follow those individuals, that will allow you to stay tuned with what's going on. Some of the other places to follow as well is going to be the city that you're living in. Follow the government department and follow the business area. For example, I live in Houston. Houston has a business department in the city of Houston. I currently follow those individuals, and I currently stay tuned to their newsletter to get updates on what's going on. Another great thing to also do is look for groups in your area, such as Urban League. Urban League provides a pitch competition every year in several cities and also national competition. This year, I will be pitching in a national competition for $5,000. But once again, that's free equity you do not have to give up. A lot of people do not know that a lot of companies that end up also being successful, their owners and CEOs and founders end up with less than 20% of equity at the end of the day. So if you are trying to bootstrap your company, the best thing to do is to always mark out exactly how can you raise by bootstrapping. And bootstrapping is a term when you do not have to go to the banks early on without loans, and you're able to raise money without utilizing any type of loans or outside funding. So those are just some of the ways that I have been able to take advantage of that. But pitching, once again, plays a fundamental role in allowing you to obtain this funding. Now, when you look at structuring your pitch, the best way to structure your pitch is to focus on your why. So you start off with your why, your intro, talk about the problem you're solving. So you need to focus on the problem you're solving, focus on the solution. So once again, the problem that I'm solving is education, it's the dropout rate, it's the student loan deficit that we have in our country. And those are the main problems that I'm solving. And then you have to talk about the value proposition you're adding. So the value you're adding is that you're helping students graduate, you're helping students obtain more jobs. And as you know, studies have shown that, hey, if you obtain a college degree or some type of post-secondary degree, you will out-earn someone by $1 million that did not go to college or obtain a technical degree. So those are some of the things I'm able to include in my pitch. Now you want to talk about your team. When you pitch, have a team that's working with you. Talk about your team. Talk about your co-founder. A lot of investors and judges like to see people talk about their co-founder. Because, for example, if something happened to you today, is your business going to function still? So you need to be able to create a team that focuses on having a marketing expert, maybe a CTO, talk about some of those skill sets that you do not have so you can have a well-rounded product. Now, when you talk about your team, be able to show a business model that's profitable. Why is that important? Hey, if I'm writing you a check for $100,000, how are you going to provide me with that money back? How do I get my money back? So I need to be able to see, okay, this company is going to be able to grow and obtain money this way. How does this work? Now you have shown that, you should be able to show validation, show any type of successes you have had. Now, if your company has been featured on the news, have been able to get some traction contracts, talk about that in your pitch. Now, what if you say, my company's brand new. I have never had any customers yet. I only have an idea. Be able to show testimonials and show questionnaires and surveys you have taken from over 200 people to show exactly that this product does work. This product has been tested in some capacity, and people have stated they will buy this product. That shows real validation. And when you have validation, you build up credibility. Now, when you look to the next stage, you have done that. Also be able to show you have advisors. If you have advisors on your team, show that as well. The great thing to do when you start pitching is also have, at the end, at the closing, be able to have a punchline. Like when I think about it, my punchline for 4.0 GPA is that we put students through college for the low. And that's something that allows the group and the judges to resonate with. Pitching is very important when it comes to financials. Know your numbers. Be able to talk about your projections for your first 3 years or your first 5 years. Be able to talk about your current numbers, the current data that you currently have. That is very helpful to allow you to be successful. Now, when you think about projections, it's okay to have projections that are low. You are just starting your business. And most businesses are not profitable within their first 3 years. So it's okay if you show that, hey, I only made $800. I remember my first year of running my company, I probably only made, if I'm going correctly, probably about $12,000. So that shows you that it's okay to say that I made $12,000 and then show you next year and show how much you made the second year. When you look at your numbers, you also want to be very realistic. Do not go from saying I made $12,000 in year 2011 and in year 2012, I expect to make $8 million. That is not realistic. You want to create realistic numbers for yourself and for your company. If you are going to go above 50%, be able to show how you're going to grow. Did you pick up a contract? Or are you going to obtain more funding? Be able to show your numbers. Now, as you move to the end of your pitch, always talk about the ask. What are you going to do with the extra funding you receive? So, if you're pitching for $50,000, how are you going to utilize that money? The ways I think about it for myself is that I will utilize the money. If I obtain $50,000, I'm going to use that money to invest in maybe adding another CTO to my team and then use that other funding, the other $20K, to use it for marketing so I can expand my reach to maybe 300,000 schools or students across the United States. So those are some of the ways that you can expand on your ads and make it unique and make it something that you'll be able to do to help your company grow, that you know that will help you obtain a return on investment. I always look at pitching as being something that you can use to your advantage. And it's always good to have a great pitch deck. A good quality pitch deck is a PowerPoint with slides that will allow you to talk about these points. Always stay prepared, stay ready, have a clicker on hand, keep a clicker on you. I keep a clicker with me all the time. Now, with that being said, now you have a pitch, you have a pitch deck. Be able to practice. Practice is key. Be able to stand in a room in front of people and practice with kids. Understand that repetition is the father of learning, and Lil Wayne said that. He's one of my favorite artists, so I always quote that quote. But it's key to understand that when you feel comfortable with your pitch, you'll be able to deliver. And that has helped me a lot. Have a routine that works for you. My routine, I enjoy listening to Tidal, listening to music to prepare for my speech. And then I also try to recite it over and over and over. And I'm able to feel confident as I go. But one of the key things is that the more feedback you get, the better you become. Be able to take criticism, negative criticism, and positive criticism. I look at some of the things that I have been dinged on and speaking too fast at times. And those are some of the things that I have started to always state in my mind. How can I slow down? How can I speak clearly so people can understand me? Which is very important. But you must take it a step farther and reach out to obtaining a pitch coach. Find somebody that can help you with pitching. So when you think about pitching like a champion, pitching like a champion will open a lot of doors for you. Maybe an elevator pitch. Maybe somebody will ask you about your business. And are you able to explain exactly within 1 minute, what does your business do? Can you do that? Can you explain within 30 seconds exactly what does your business do? And those are the things that has allowed me to win several pitch competitions across the United States and also at a local level. As you become more comfortable with pitching, find out what your niche area is and be able to write that down and say exactly, okay, this is what I can do in this area, and this is exactly how I can start preparing. And go after it. When it comes to applications, do not talk yourself out of it. Always say to yourself, I'm capable of doing this, and I can do this. So when I see pitch competitions open up, some of them take me maybe 5 minutes to apply for. 10 minutes, you make a YouTube video, sit down somewhere comfortable, make a YouTube video, and you boom, let that video go, and you wait to hear back. And once you hear back, it may be a yes, it may be a no, but at the end of the day, you understand that the opportunity cost on preparing for pitches. Now, today, my company has been able to grow to another level because some of the pitch competitions I have won. With 4.0 GPA, 4.0 GPA is a company that focuses on helping students prepare for college and life after high school. We help students obtain funding for college, school of their choice. We provide after-school programs to some of the largest school districts in the United States. And those are some of the things that we have been able to do. The benefits of our program is that students have options of knowing exactly things that they're passionate about so they can do what they love. You may not know this, but across the United States, only 21% of students from low income and first generation backgrounds graduate from college within 6 years. And that's very alarming. But the thing that we're advocating on is that as early as elementary school, we provide after school programs that focus on college and career readiness. So we have students learning about college. We have students learning ways that they can actually start preparing for the future. And they have the opportunity of meeting with different individuals in different career fields to show them exactly what they can do. And that shows them, say, hey, I could be a lawyer, I could be a barber, I could participate in this field. And that's one of the things that we're doing is making the process real easy for them. Because the wage gap between young workers with college degrees and high school educated young adults is 50%. So when you look at those numbers, you have to think about why is education so important? Because by 2020, 65% of all jobs in the economy will require more than a post-secondary education. Some of the other things I also like to do that helps me prepare to pitch is listen to podcasts. Listening to certain podcasts has included my knowledge on pitching. So my favorite thing to do is listen to podcasts. There are several podcasts out there that I listen to. It's just focusing on the pitch. You have a podcast called The Pitch. Those podcasts allow me to listen to different seasoned experts delivering their pitches. I really do not watch TV that much, but I know Shark Tank is a very good episode as well. And you can always listen and watch those shows and hear feedback on the numbers. Listening to the numbers is a great way to listen to see exactly how people are perceived. Next, it is being able to find books and research your area. Know your market when you pitch. That's very important. Know the market size. Know who your competitors are. These are all things that are also included in a great pitch. Know how much they're generating. Know, like, for example, I know the education industry is over a $1.2 trillion industry. I'm able to tell you that, hey, every day in the world, 200,000 individuals are being born. So that shows you right then and there that there's always going to be opportunity for business because those 200,000 individuals will probably end up going to school. And now you do the math times 365. That gives you the number on how many individuals are born each day. So when you think about, you look at the numbers, that's almost close to 73 million individuals being born each year. Pitching will open the doors for you and just be confident. And once again, be able to tell your story. Ways that you can follow me on social media is at Henry Keculah Jr. That's on Instagram and that's on Twitter. If you ever need help preparing for your next pitch, preparing your next pitch deck, or need some coaching, need some help, feel free to ask me and feel free to reach out to me. I provide consulting on the area and I can help you and guide you and give you some advice on preparing, pitching like a champion, and even helping you with your business plan. But stay confident and never let I do not have enough money to prevent you from starting your dream today. As I was reading an article today, I was reading an article on the founder of Calendly, and he actually started his company by not obtaining that much funding. But the great thing about Calendly now makes over $30 million in revenue each year. And this company was started by Tope Awotone, and he's a Black entrepreneur in Atlanta. But he spoke about how it was always hard to, ask for VC funding. And people that had these crazy ideas would get all types of funding. But he had a solid idea, was using the app to help you book your schedule and also keep track of your appointments, which is very effective. And now his business is very successful. So do not get discouraged when the bank tells you no, or when someone tells you no, that, hey, your idea is not solid. I have listened to several great pitches from entrepreneurs who went on to raise millions of dollars, but people told them no at first. So just keep on pushing, keep on striving, and great things will happen to you. But if you feel free, if you have time, visit my company's website at www.40gpa.com. And that's www.40gpa.com. And follow us on Instagram at 40gpa. We provide a lot of free tips on how to prepare for college. And once again, check out my new podcast, the Green Print for College podcast. This will provide you with tips on how to prepare for college. And always remember, you can start preparing for college as early as the 6th grade. So if you have kids, do not waste that time. Take advantage of it right now and do what you love. Let's be great. This is Henry Keculah tuning out. And thank you once again, Mr. Hart, for providing me with this episode opportunity. And please review my other episode 117 if we have time. And this is Henry Keculah Jr. Have a wonderful day.
I'm Steve Nehart, and you've been listening to the Trailblazers.fm podcast. If you're not yet doing so, consider following Trailblazers.fm on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook, and feel free to connect with me over on LinkedIn. Whenever you're posting stories or social media posts about Trailblazers.fm, be sure to use the hashtag TBPod and hashtag Mission Fuel. We'll be able to see you, and I'll be able to show some love. And in case you're not aware, our show notes for all our episodes can be found on our website over at tbpod.com. Now, if today was your first time listening, I just want to say big ups and enough respect for checking us out. You've made this Jamaican guy really happy that you're here with us today. And I'd love your help with keeping this Black excellence flowing each and every week. So if you haven't yet subscribed, hop on over to Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you listen to podcasts. Search Trailblazers.fm and subscribe, rate, and review us there. Be sure to browse through some of our past episodes. There are more than 150 published episodes now, and a little something is out there for everyone to help keep the knowledge flowing. We grow when you, as part of our Blazer Nation community, shares and invites your friends and family to listen to an episode you think might impact them most. We believe that someone listening to these inspiring stories are going to be moved to make significant changes that have generational impact for many others, both now and well into the future. Don't miss next week's episode. New episodes are released each and every Monday morning at 5 a.m. Eastern. Blazer Nation, go out today and find a way to rise above, go way beyond, and keep blazing your trail.